Hi, and welcome to Three Questions with my friend Lydsay Hume with us. Lydsay is a life coach. Lydsay, good afternoon. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Kevin, thank you.
So, Lydsay, I wanted you to come on the show today to talk about decision making. So, I have a few things in my life that I'm looking at and I have to make a decision on. And I've been going back and forth on these couple things for like weeks. And I talk about it and I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this. Then I'm like, when it comes time to pull the trigger, I freeze. I'm like, I don't know if I really want to do it. How can I make this simpler?
Sure. It's a great question. Okay, so two things. Well, I think we are not making decisions, or we're making it like more complicated than it is for two reasons. The first one is we're scared that we're going to make the wrong one, right? So there's this feeling of like, oh, what if it's wrong and then I'll have regret.
Yes.
And then I think the second one is we're waiting to feel good. So like we're waiting for our decision to be like, yes, that's the right one. Like that kind of like feeling of calm or everything is right. And so they're both kind of flawed, and I'll talk about why. The first one, when we're scared about making a wrong decision, we are believing in the power of the external more than we are ourselves. So it's like saying, well, I'm scared I'll make the wrong decision, as if you have no control over that. So we have control over how things in our life turn out to a certain extent, right? Yes, there are extenuating circumstances that may happen that we have no control over, but the way we choose to think about our scenarios and approach our lives and how we want to respond to the things that happen, we do have control over. So rather than saying, I'm afraid of making the wrong decision, you want to switch that to, if I know that no matter what decision I make, it's going to turn out really awesome. And it's going to have its challenges because I'm human. Like, which one do I want? Right? And that's taking back the control to say, I know that I've got power in this decision and how it turns out, because I know I can choose how to respond in the future. And I know that if I decide to make, decision A, right, that I can then go forward, putting everything I have into making the best out of that decision. So it kind of puts you back in the driver's seat, rather than just being like, I don't have any control how either of these turn out. So of course you would feel like scared that you're going to make the wrong one.
That's great advice, because sometimes, Lydsay, I put off that decision until I have to decide it. And exactly what you just said, I'm like, okay, I made the decision. Now I feel rushed to put things in place to make it be successful. If I would have made the decision 2 weeks ago, either way, then I would, okay, I've said yes to this. Now what do I need to do to make this work? But when I wait forever to pull the trigger, then I'm like,
yeah,
that happens, right?
Yeah, totally. That's exactly what happens. I like how you described that, actually. That like hit home for me. So the second part though to that is, sorry, I'm blanking. So we said you're afraid that you're going to regret it, and the second one is that you want it to feel good. But sometimes we've got options in front of us, and like it's just life, and we're human, so there's good and bad to everything, right? And so very rarely have I had a moment in my life where it's a larger decision and everything is perfect and I'm just like, this is clearly the decision I need to make. There's always like pros and cons on each side. Yes. Which is why I'm not a proponent of writing your pros and cons list. It never works, because you're going to get some on either side. So the better question that I like to ask myself is, write down your reasons for making the decision A. So for example, if you're going to move to a new city, write down all your reasons for why you would choose to move to a new city. And in another column, write down all the reasons you would decide not to, that you would stay where you are. And then just decide which reasons you like. And what I mean by that is, oftentimes one side is going to show you adventure, growth, opportunity, and yes, hard work, right? Discomfort, maybe a little bit of like uncertainty. And the other side typically will lean more to safety, right? Fear of scarcity, fear of failure, right? Wanting to just stay comfortable. There's no problem with either side you choose, as long as you like it. So that's how I propose you decide bigger decisions, is you just look at your reasons why, and then you decide which ones you like more. Neither might feel really good at all times. That's why you spin, because it'll feel really good in the moment because you'll only look at reasons A, B, and C for making it. And then reasons D and E will come up and you'll be like, oh, those don't feel good. I'm going to shift back over here to this one. And you'll get that you'll get like a hit of dopamine from your brain that's like, we're back to safety. And then the reasons that you didn't like on that side will start popping up and you'll be like, oh, see, yeah, it doesn't feel good. I'm going to go back to this decision. And you just keep like ping-ponging yourself back and forth between decisions, hoping you're going to feel good. You need to accept it's not always going to feel good, and then just decide based on the reasons you like and have your back the whole way. Do not go back.
That makes sense because, like, again, it's that safety. You look at it going, well, I'm going to move into that new city. Maybe you're taking a great new job. Like, well, but what if I don't like the job? What if I don't like this? There's always going to be something. It's going to be a risk. But like I said, does the rewards outweigh the risk? Are you willing to? Yeah, but when it does work out, it's going to be amazing. I'm going to be like, why did I wait so long to do this? But it's hard because as soon as we see that one bad thing, like, Lydsay, it's just safer to stay here and not take that chance for growth because we might fail. And then we're just like, the heck with it. I'm just going to stay here. And then, but there's a reason we were considering it. Now you're like, but I'm still unhappy here, so. Like you said, you just start to spend and stuff. You must see that a lot.
Yeah. And I know, you and I have talked about this a little bit before together, but that part that kicks in, that goes to those questions of what if it doesn't work out? Just like you said, that's the fear kicking in order to keep us safe, right? So that's just the automatic response of our brain. That's like, I don't know what's coming up here. I don't know how to deal with it. I don't know what the outcome is going to be. And that's frightening for the brain, right? It feels like that's not safe. And so it wants to pull us back. So it's not like a personality flaw, right? That you have, or I have, or that anybody that's having this difficult time making decisions has. It's not a personality flaw. It's like actually a universal human trait that's built in order to keep us safe. We just need to be able to recognize it when it's coming up and being like, whoa, wait a second. Is it actually true that I'm like not safe here, right? Is it actually true that I'm going to create danger and, make horrible decisions over on this side when I move to another city? Like, is that really true? You just want to question yourself and your brain, knowing that it's not a personality flaw. It's not something you need to fix. You just need to slow down, recognize it's happening, and then choose how you're going to make the decision rather than letting it just like happen to you.
So Lydsay, what's the best way for people to reach out to you? How can they learn more, my friend?
So they can go to my website, which is LydsyHumeCoaching.com. I feel like I have so many like handles and different names all over the place with all the technology. Yes. So it's LydsyHume.com. Yeah. And then they can also reach out to me via email at hello@LydsyHume.com.
Awesome.
And I love just to be in conversation with people. So they can even just reach out and say, hey, I want to chat more about what I heard you talking to Kevin with, or, maybe they have something else. And I just love to engage with people at any time. So that'd be great.
Perfect. Lydsay, I really appreciate you taking a couple minutes to come on the show. And as always, thanks for being my friend.
Thank you.